Okay, I'm going to say something that's probably going to sound anti-Semitic and racist, but it may just save the world because people are getting actually anti-Semitic and racist. And I'd like to add in some balanced thoughts to this because we need this. So I don't know if this is going to be a video or a short. We'll see how long this is based off of how long it takes me to say whatever I got to say. But I just made a video where I was responding to someone talking about how the Jewish people are really great at working together and how Americans are not good at working together. He's like, Jewish people, the nation of Israel, they're very concerned with the future of the nation of Israel, very concerned with the future of the Jewish people, and rightfully so. Us as Americans, we really don't think too much about the future of America 100, 150 years from now, 200 years from now. We don't really think about the future of the American people. We don't really work together as Americans. We really like to fight as Americans. We like to fight amongst ourselves and not work together. And I mean, like I know plenty of boomers who are not plenty, but I know a few boomers who are personally, these are personal, not just people I heard about online, but personally, I know some boomers who now that the United States is not doing so well because inflation is really high, they want to take all of their loot and go to another country to retire and die. It's like the opposite of nepotism. It's like anti nepotism. So I think America needs the Jewish people because we need to be reminded of the power of nepotism. Like, we need to basically relearn to care about our own children. Because, I mean, I've seen, like, if you're awake at all, you can tell the world is not becoming more economically favorable for young people. And the people that I've seen who grew up in my hometown who all just sold their family houses the second their kids graduated from high school is like astronomical. And I just think about it and I'm like, people like the same people getting down on the Jews for working together are the same people that can't be bothered to help their own children even a little bit. Like they'll do like the minimum to help their own kids. And if this bothers you, I'm not talking about you. You know what I mean? Like maybe I'm not talking about you. But look around. Like you'll see people who frankly like they should do a little nepotism. Like they should like try to help their own children like a little bit cuz it's just weird when you're like leaving the country to spend your life savings and die in a foreign land after looting the United States of America for its wealth and resources, its resources of social trust, too. Social trust is the biggest resource, it's the one that's looted the most. And they just leave the country and leave your children to those same economically miserable conditions that you yourself are fleeing, are capable of fleeing, that they will not be capable of fleeing and really leaving the entire world to those same conditions too, because the fact that the United States was free enough and prosperous enough to provide you with that is an anomaly in the history of the world. It's very unique. I mean, it is completely unique. This has never happened before that people have created a free and prosperous society where the foreigner, because these people are foreigners from my perspective, like they just are. They moved here, made a bunch of money, and they're leaving. The foreigner can come do that. And the foreigner did that and now is just leaving. So, what I would say to the Jewish people is you've noticed this, and this is why you're justifying your nepotism and your institutional takeovers, and I completely agree with you. But I would just add to this if you're a Jewish person, a Jewish person watching this, have you considered that the Jewish people have never been doing better than they have been since the United States of America was founded? Consider that. It's interesting that a nation founded on a book that says, Beware those who say they are Jews, but are not Jews, but are of the synagogues of Satan. Maybe you're not those Jews. I don't really know. I mean, who knows? It's up to God to determine who's who. But it's funny that a nation with that in their one of the books that this is founded on, not directly, but slightly indirectly, would be so favorable to Jews. But we really believe it. Like at the end of the day, the people who found this country, they really believe this. They're really invested in this idea of man being made in the image of God and that all men, I mean, our Lord and Savior is a Jew. You know what I mean? Like, like there's nuance to this. This is a very interesting phenomenon. This country that went off to help Israel be founded. Like let's say you're a Zionist Jew or a not Zionist Jew, whatever. Have the Jewish people ever been doing better than they are now? You got cars, airplanes. Those are both invented in the United States. At least, I mean, I think the internal combustion engine that ran on gasoline was Ford, I believe. The car itself may have been European, but the fact that we use them all is Ford. Say whatever you will about Ford. Ford wasn't an anti Semite. Like, not really. Not really. And even if he was, he's fucking dead, man. Like, I don't know. He helped the Jews a lot by making cars. So, like, who fucking cares? Like, I don't know. When I read Ford, I've read both of his books, My Life and My Work and Today and Tomorrow. He doesn't sound like an anti-Semite. He seems like someone who's actually a big fan of the Jews for precisely the reasons I'm talking about. He's like, look, guys, you guys are very competent people. You guys got your shit together. Wow. Look at all those Nobel Prizes. Look at those institutions you guys are running. Wow. You, there's an assignment. You guys are doing it. However, this is Ford's point, I believe. This is at least my point. I think this compats with Ford's point, but like it's compatible with Ford's point. But I'm not trying to tell you what Ford thought. I'm telling you what I thought. I just think Ford thought the same thing as me, but I'm not trying to tell you what he thought. So this is what I think. What I think is given this, and again, Jewish people, you guys have thousands of years of nepotism under your belt. You're very good at this. You're much better at this than I am. Don't make the United States into a bastion of nepotism. That's not why the West works. Like, you're like, well, screw the West, screw the United States. No, 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 no. You've never been doing better than you have been since the U.S. came about. Like, and if you think that, like, if the West falls, the East is going to have anything nice to say about you guys, like, the Nazis told the Japanese that they were taking it too far. Like, just in case you thought the East would have mercy on you. In case you thought that. They won't. They'll be so much worse. Like, the Orient will be so much worse to you than Pharaoh. I'm just going to go right there. Like, the Orient will be worse to you than Pharaoh. You better be praying for the success of the West. Because as the skill disparity that exists between Western, not Jewish, Gentile Europeans and Jewish people in terms of nepotism, you guys don't have the practice at nepotism that the East has. Like, you do not have that level of practice. You are not that skilled at nepotism. You haven't redone your entire language multiple times for nepotistic reasons. Your history, as far as I'm aware, is fairly accurate. I don't know if these things can be said for the East. I know many of them can't, but I don't know how accurate their history is because they keep changing their language. We need each other. Jews, Gentile Europeans, we need each other. You need us to be the kooky people creating freedom and prosperity. We need you to be a little nepotistic center that prevents us from selling our own children into slavery. I think you already learned that lesson with Joseph, you know. Gentiles just haven't learned it to that degree. You know, we just don't study the Torah enough, even though our Christianity is based on it. I mean, it's based on the incarnation of God, but I mean, like, you really should read the Torah if you want to make sense of that. I read it a lot. I've been rereading. I already read Genesis like 80, 180. I've read it so many times. Like, I read The Golden Compass when I was a little kid. And I just started reading Genesis again and again and again because Lord Asriel did. So then now I'm reading Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is really good, and Exodus. But I've kind of started with Deuteronomy, and I'm working backwards to Exodus. Though I've read it all, I'm just rereading it again and again and again until it's as etched into my brain as Genesis is. But I would just say that, I mean, like, Jews, you guys are pretty freaking cool. You guys have a lot of Nobel Prizes. I'm a big fan of Albert Einstein. Like, I got a book of Jewish proverbs downstairs. It's called Yiddish Proverbs, but got a book of Yiddish Proverbs. Like, I like you guys at this point. I think I'll continue to like you guys. And I don't think I ever am going to just be like, I don't like all Jews because, I don't know, maybe the at this point was a little, I don't know, like, I like the Jews. Like, I like the fact that you guys have this thing you're doing. Like, it's cool. I see it as compatible with what I'm doing and what the West is doing and with what Christendom is doing in this interesting way of, like, you guys are amazing bankers. I don't like the fiat currency thing, but you guys are amazing bankers. Like, you're really good at it. You're really good at it. You're very literate. Like, this is all very impressive to me. That being said, I think that because you guys are such successful activists, it would be beneficial to be activists in the direction of a more free, more Christian, more gun owning, less nepotistic, less nanny state United States of America. Like, I think you guys benefit from that. My evidence for that is, have the Jewish people ever been doing better than since the United States of America came into existence? Like, have you ever been doing better? I'm not saying the United States is perfect, but I'm saying, like, having the United States of America existing the way it does benefits the Jewish people. Having the Jewish people existing the way they do benefits the United States of America. Like, I think this is a good situation. I just think that, like, the United States of America should probably as a whole be like, look, like, these Jews, they've figured some stuff out. We should learn from them. We should study the Torah with them and, still be Christians, but, we can learn from these people. I think the Jews should look at these people in the United States of America, I think a lot of them do, and say, look, don't agree with them and everything. They think a little short term, but I'm going to try to educate these people. I'm going to try to be an American Jew. I'm not just going to be a Jewish Jew. I'm going to be an American Jew, because this is a new continent. This represents a new opportunity. This represents new patterns of being that could occur. Maybe we could make a heaven on earth for Christians and Jews in this new continent. Hey, it's only been around for like 400 years or so, Like, let's give it a shot. 400 years. It's like what? Like 20 people? Scarcely enough time to try anything, So I just think that instead of being anti-Semitic or instead of like, because I don't know, I don't really think I'd ever be anti-Semitic. Like I like the Jewish people for now. Like, I think the for now was a little, I'm glad I said it because now I can talk about it. Like, at the end of the day, like, Jews are people. Christians are people. If we want to continue being people, we all have to have children. Otherwise, we just die off. I got kids. I'd love my kids to be able to run around outside in safe neighborhoods. You probably like your kids to run around outside in safe neighborhoods too. How about whatever creates safe neighborhoods for our kids to run around and grow up to be strong, competent, successful individuals embodying the image of God is what we both want. I mean, for me to have what I need to raise healthy, successful children, for you to have what you need to raise healthy, successful children, those go together, man. So I don't know, I just like, why am I making this? Because I guess I feel like Jews could feel threatened by, like, I think Nietzsche's point's correct. Like, if the Jews feel threatened, they will institutionally capture the West and then potentially turn it into another version of the East. But then they'll be immediately dominated by the Orient, and they won't like that because it's really the independence of the West. It's the East-West balance that creates this beautiful world we're living in right now. And whenever that East-West balance drops away, we call that the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages are really just periods of time where the West does not dominate history. It's the light, it's the light. Like, and Jews talk about Kabbalistically about gathering the light. I don't know. I kind of agree with you guys. Like, hold the light, gather the light. Let's do this together. I don't think that, like, I wanted to be a Jew before God started talking to me and I became a Christian. So, and he doesn't talk to me like right now. Like, it was just like a few time thing. And then I converted to Christianity and now there's a lot of silence except for the still small voice. And I'm like, is that you, God? And I'm like, I don't know. I'll just keep doing my best, I guess. Like, I don't know. I wish God talked to me all the time, but maybe I don't. Whatever. That's beyond the scope of this video. The point is, I feel like I understand the Jewish people to a degree, and I like talking to the Jewish people. I like talking to the Jewish people about, or Jewish people individually, about this topic, and I think that ultimately, I'm okay, and I actually encourage Jews to be as wildly successful as they want to be. Um, just I think you should recognize that the same nepotism that you're really good at, like use the nepotism to encourage global freedom and innovation because it will only benefit you. Like if you use the nepotism to slow down the economy and halt this American experiment in any capacity, I feel like that will just be very bad for anyone or for everyone. And furthermore, I would say fiat currency is very bad because it ungrounds the units of value we use from the material world, which it doesn't make them more real, it makes them less real. And I think it's better if the things we choose to use to measure. I think it's better if we can say that the money is real